Hello, everyone, and welcome to our third lesson of the series of grammar tenses. What we are looking at today is the other type of perfect tenses, which is the future perfect progressive. Hopefully, it's not a very usable tense in English. That might sound a little bit crazy and weird for you because, as I said, it's not a very usable tense in English in writing or in speaking because it's too long to say or to write. Um, Here we are going to take a look at the introduction. I'm gonna read it for you. We use future perfect continuous to express an action that started in some point in the past and will continue up until the happening another action at some specific point in the future. The duration of time. Here, because it's also a progressive tense, we have to show the duration of time by using time expressions like for 2 weeks, since Friday, or it's common to use by. For example, um, by 2018, something like that, etc. But the duration will stop at or before a point in the future. Here, if we talk about the future perfect progressive, we can say that this is used for the action that started in some point in the past and continue up to the sometime in the present, to the point or to some point in the future until happening another action in the future. In which the action started in the past and continue up until some point in the future, and that will be stopped or ended by another action in the future. If you look at the timeline here, that will be more clear for you. The here the green sign is the first action that started in some point in the past here and continued up until some point in the future until happening the other action. That's how we use it. And we go back to here. We have some comparison between the future, using the future continuous and future perfect continuous. Continuous and progressive are the same. Here, if the duration of time is not indicated, we can use future continuous instead of future perfect continuous. Yeah, you can say future simple or future continuous to show that the action will happen in the future, but you are not 100% sure that the action is going to happen or not. You are about 50% sure here. He'll get sad because he will be leaving his hometown. And here, he will get sad because he will have been leaving his hometown. So in the second one, you are more sure about happening the action because the action started and will be continuous. Will be continuing until some time in the future. Here we have the formulation, which we have three forms of future perfect progressive. The first one, we always have to have a subject, of course, plus will, plus have, plus being, which shows the future, the perfect tense, and we also have verb ing, which shows the progressive tense. We have the second form of future, which using the going to tense. We have to have a verb to be, is, or are, plus going to, plus have, plus being, which shows the perfect tense, and verb ing. As I said, this is used to show the progressive tense or continuous tense. Here, take a look at some examples. First one, you will have been working for more than 4 hours when the guests arrive. You can see here that you started working and you will continue working for some point or for about 4 hours when the guests arrive. The guests haven't arrived yet, so they will arrive in the future. And when they arrive, you have to stop working. You only have the duration of time for 4 hours here. So you have to finish this 4 hours, and then the guests will arrive. The second one, you are going to have been working for more than 4 hours when the guests arrive. Here it's a little bit longer, but this is the second usage of the second form. We also have the passive voice, which is not our lesson, but I would like to show it to you. You can say will or going to plus have plus being verb past participle, which shows the passive voice, which is not common actually. So you can only know it like a general information for you. And here we have an example for it. The mural will have been being painted by the famous artist for over 6 months. Here we have will have been being painted, which shows the passive voice that the action has been done by someone. I know it's confusing and it's hard to get, but by doing more practice, you can get a little bit better at it. You don't have to be worried about, because it's not a common tense in English and it's not very important to use. But here we have some practice to do. The first one, by the time, as I said, you can use by the time or by, for example, 2018, which shows the time expression for the future. By the time you get to the city this evening, we drive more than 400 miles. We are going to be exhausted. From the tense or from the clauses, we can get to the conclusion that this indicates to the future action, in which the action hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen in the future. By the time we get to the city this evening, you can say we will have been driving more than 400 miles. We are going to be exhausted, which will happen in the future. The second one, by the end of 2018, I will have been finishing another year of college. You started studying at the college, and then you will have been finishing this by 2018. You are sure that you are gonna finish in that year, so this is specific. The third one, you can say he will have been you will he will have not been sleeping all morning. Here we have the negative form. The fourth one, which is the multiple choice, by October also we will have been living here for 6 months. You cannot say we will live or we will be living, because if you choose these two, it indicates that you are not 100% sure. You don't have to mention to the time expression here, which we have by October or for 6 months. So the best choices have been living. That was all about our today's lesson. And I again say that it's difficult to get and needs a little bit practice. I hope you enjoyed it and get some new information about distance. Have a good time.